A very good evening, everyone. This is Lavanya Ji. Take the privilege of extending a warm welcome to all the teaching professional participants for our fourth day online FDP on recent trends in counseling psychology. On behalf of Department of Psychology, Sacred Arts College Tirupattur and Loyola College of Arts and Science, Chennai, over the past 3 days, we have covered a range of topics on EMDR, SFBT, and REBT. Today, in that lineup, we will be exploring in setting healthy boundaries for which we have a renowned resource person, Dr. S. Arul Prabhakaran, Assistant Professor, Psychology, Christ University, Bangalore, amongst us. I welcome you, sir. Sir has an impressive academic portfolio with several articles published in journals, contributed in international books, has participation in more than 40 international and national conferences, seminars, workshops, and FTPs. Sir has also organized UGC-sponsored national level workshop for the youth at the Seven Arts Government College in Salem. Being a dedicated professional, Sir has a lifetime membership of Counselors Council of India, the Australia and the New Zealand Mental Health Association and INSPA. Sir also holds two certificates from World Book Record on career guidance through his participation and discussion. With due respect, I request our resource person to take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the nice words. But that's the old version of my introduction. Okay. Good evening, all. How are you? At least one response.
Fine, sir. How are you?
Yes, fine, fine, Anne. Thank
Good
you.
evening,
My
sir.
daughter's name is also Anne.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. So all of the sessions are on some therapy. Only my session is something like in general. And I want everyone to keep your mobile ready. We'll do a short question answer. Are you able to see my sharing here? Yes. Okay. Take your mobile, scan the QR code, or otherwise go into Chrome, type menti.com, menti.com. Code will be also 125514. Even pull more. Yeah. Scan the QR code.
Sir, I am working in this mobile only. I don't know how to go inside.
Oh, you are using your mobile. No problem. Just go to Google Chrome. Just type menti.com, menti.com. So in that website, in the window, a code is asked. No? So just type 125514. Already people started answering. Good. Oh, yes, 14. No, 10. Only 25 participants are there. Yes, 16. Good. 10, not bad. Usually, when I use this Menti, my students used to do those thumbs up. Good. It's a kind of stress buster. Okay. Okay, 19. Yes, 19. No, 10. Good. No, 11. I want every Saturday to be announced as holiday. To know. Yes, 16. Yes, 20. No, 4. Okay. Some people, 4 people are ever ready for every good work. Good. So 23 plus 4, 27. Still 2 or 3, I think. 30 people registered the last slide. Okay. Good. Okay. Let us move on to. Oh, yes, 25. Good. So many of you want to be the teacher for lifelong, but you don't want to work. Maybe okay, good, good. That's I'm not saying it in a negative way, but now and then rest is also important. Okay, 26, yes, 4, no. I don't know how about Sunday to them. Okay, next. Which is important to you? Okay, good, super. So you don't work for salary. Good. You don't work for good name. Ah, started. Knowledge. Hmm. If knowledge is important, then you should not worry about the salary too. Good. Good name is important. Salary fourth. Relationship. Oh, relationship is going up. Oh, knowledge too. Good. Not bad. So self-respect stands first. Ah, still. Okay. Most of the time we worry about the good name. Whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we think in that way. We want to have a good name. Even parents also say to us, na? That is very important. Okay, good. But it went down. Okay. Self-respect stands first. Okay. The last one, I think. What are the challenges you face being a teacher? What are the challenges you face being a teacher? You can give 3 options. Anything you can type. What are the challenges you face being a teacher? So all are silent as if workload. Oh, good. Work-life balance. Good. Juliet Rebello, please, sir. Can you? No, I cannot see the chat box. Yes. Exhaustion, work-life balance. Students are obeying. What are the challenges you face being a teacher? Students are obeying. That's a challenge. Okay. Salary, system, superiority, conventional thinking. Good. Taken for granted. You can also mention, suppose if you see some of the points here is so correct, and you can also mention that. What are the challenges you face being a teacher? Still, salaries in the center. Good. Workload and all went somewhere. Pressure, time management, rigid structure, low attention span, unable to obey the orders, as if we are the military people. Okay. Parental expectations. Okay. More of clerical work. Brinda Vivekanand. Okay. Classroom management. Burnout. Very good. College pressure. Mobile addiction of students. Someone is saying in the chat box, education is not helping students too. Good. Trying to be an ideal ma'am, or a lot of taken for granted. Throat problem. Okay, of course, yes. And then, well, I could see three things is getting even more better and better, like salary, stress, overload, even somewhere 3 points like pressure, burnout, exhaustion, and then what is it? Criticism. Hmm. Okay. Lack of interest, generation gap. Okay, generation gap. We want to have everybody young and also otherwise all should be elderly people or what? I don't know. Okay. Disciplining the children, balancing multiple roles. Okay. Okay. In general, now at last, workload stands first. Workload, salary, work-life balance, pressure. Okay, good. No static education system. Okay, good. Super. See, I have asked you some of the questions, even more contradictory questions I have asked. You know, the first question I asked is what I want to be a teacher life. I want to be a teacher lifelong. Most of you said yes. Okay. Most of you said yes. But when I move on to the next one, I could see some conflict or contradictions in it. I want every Saturday to be announced as holiday. I don't know how far it is. I don't know you. See, when we want to continue with something else, we should be ready to work for it. Nah? Clear? Maybe if I ask you, like, how many of you want to have a Monday also a holiday? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Which is important to you? Most of you have said self respect, knowledge, relationship. If I take first three, but salary, good name, and all, no. We went to the fourth and fifth part. But here again, what are the challenges you face being a teacher? Yes, salary also stands maybe the third or second. Workload stress, work life balance, salary. Now, even slowly the technology also. bumped in, and burnout. Yes, of course. Good. Thank you. Nice answers I've given. We'll go to. Okay. Questions apart. I know I am taking exactly not the therapy, but I want you to have some clarification over the self-care, under self-care, how to set the boundaries to have a peaceful and happiest life, and also to monitor your development and growth, and also how to say the two-letter word no in a right way. Okay, that's what my concern is about. Okay, what is self care? Self care is nothing but the actions that we take to improve our mental health or improve our physical or emotional well being. So, whatever to increase, yes, good, carrying off emotions, all those, whatever we try to do. We all, as a human being, we all want to have a peaceful life. We all want to have a stress free life. But can you say that if whether there is any person who cannot or who is not having any stress? Yes, of course. Any people on the world definitely will undergo a kind of pain, a kind of stress at every age, at every stage too. Maybe if I give you a chocolate, you may not be so happy about it. But if I give a chocolate to a child, the child will be so happy to have it. Okay. And even at the same time, if I give two chocolates to the other person, you may not be so worry about it, but a child will be worrying about it because it got only one chocolate, the other child is getting two chocolates. Okay. At every stage, according to the situation, according to the environment, according to the age, according to the profession, we undergo a certain kind of pain or certain kind of issues and disabilities, all those things. So, especially the self care is important and it should be followed by everybody, but especially with the teaching staff. Yes, of course, yes, because they are doing multifaceted, jobs, and it is not one man show, and it is not one role that they have and they can go about. There are lots and lots of roles. Maintaining and handling those roles is really difficult. See, every human being have their own roles as a boy, as a citizen, as a professional, or as a father, as a mother, as a sister, as a brother. There are a lot of roles. But to a teacher, the teacher alone will play a lot of role in a institution. That also important. Where that's why we speak about the self care is important. Okay. So self-care, what it can be. Self-care can be asking for help, spending time alone, putting yourself first, asking for what you need, setting boundaries, staying at home, saying no to people, forgiving yourself, and taking a step back. Okay, it is more of like whatever is good to you and you are and you are moving forward with that. Yes, of course, that will come under self-care. But at the same time, people can see all of these things, all of these things in a negative way too. Asking for help, sometimes people, they may use saying that they promoting the self-care, but they use in a different way. They don't work at all. They get most of the things they want to get help like from other people, and they sometimes you or I may be used for something else, thinking that I'm helping, but it's not a help, but people are using us. Even spending time alone, that's not always good. putting yourself first. A picnic is arranged and you want to get a good place in the bus, and you just bump in as a first person and get a good space. People may not take it in a right way, isn't it? People will not take it in the right way, and you say no to everything or no to particular people, and people may observe it as a offense, or as a like you are kind of rude person, and you are not people that whom they expect like. But our concern here is not on everything, like asking for it. But we are not going to think about all of those things. Our concern is only with the psychological self care. Okay, is self care really important? Yes, of course. It is very much important. In what way? Because as a human being we have emotions. It is very difficult to understand someone's emotions, and it is difficult for me to control my emotions, and I don't know how to show my emotions, and where to control, and where I should not control it. I don't know the situation sometimes. Okay, so this self care is important when is connected with the psychological self care too. There are other kinds of self care like physical self care, spiritual self care, finance self care, something like that also there. But we are going to concentrate only with the psychological self care, where it speaks of setting healthy boundaries, learning when to say no to extra commitments, and overcoming like perfectionism, because some people expect everything in a perfect way. That's a reason for some people to procrastinate, like they won't start whatever the work is given to them, because they look for a lot of perfectionism in that. So we are going to just make some boundaries, which means we are making some kind of limits to set to set. It is just for to protect our time, energy, and well-being. Just imagine, when was the last time you struggled to say no? It is very difficult in some cases, because we always keep the person who asks for something, we keep them in mind, and we keep their background in mind, and we keep the future, how the relationship would be, that so called all those things we keep in mind, and accordingly we answer yes. So we should also think about what are the challenges we are facing when we set some boundaries. For example, you said workload. If at all, there would be, yes, of course, if you are capable of doing something and you will be given something. If we have a lot of fruits and people will expect you to yield a lot of fruits, yes, the fruits are so good, it is very tasty. Even the peer pressure is also there sometimes, and I'm exactly focused and I'm doing my work, and people are not allowing me to do it because someone is better than me. I need to compete with them, or someone is just wasting his time, and he's pulling me down to give a company to him or something like that. And even the students demand. Okay, so these things are to be considered when we set boundaries. Okay, so self-care is not only for the betterment of us, also to everybody, because in such a situation we need to say like no, no. It would be a great help to the other persons too. Okay, healthy boundaries. What do you see there? There, a teacher is teaching something to his students, but there is a board. So when we teach, see the teacher, when he teaches and wants to write something on the board, he cannot write on the air. He cannot write in the air. He needs something solid, and he has to start from somewhere. If the points are so important, and he will exactly write those points in the center of the board. Okay, so you will prioritize which points are important, which points are not so important and less important, and which has to be highlighted, and which has to be you know uh, uh, we need to include that, but that's not so important. So we need to prioritize what are the points that my own students need to understand, or what are the points, or how I can teach them in order to make them to understand and do it on their own. So I need to prioritize. So healthy boundary is something like that. I need to prioritize which is important to me, which is urgent to me, what I need to lend my ears, and what I need to shut my mouth. So everything we need to prioritize and see. Then it is easy for us to justify. I'm not saying it is easy for us to move forward. No, it is easy for us to justify that I'm saying no to a certain people or certain thing. So I need to I can able to justify that I'm on the right track. I'm doing this for some good purpose. It is not just because I don't like people. It is not just because I don't like this kind of stuff. No. Okay. So we need to be clear in that kind of understanding about healthy boundaries. So why healthy boundaries? Someone mentioned burnouts too. So just to prevent burnouts by managing workload and emotional energy. It will also try to enhance your productivity by reducing distractions. It is something like the schedule that you make, it is something like the plans that you have. Accordingly, if you are focused with those plans and those schedules, you'll be able to complete it something by today, or maybe tomorrow you'll be completing it. Like the same, if you set boundaries, it is not exactly the schedule, exactly the plan, but it is also the plan that should come from oneself. It is not by, yes, of course, you have to make some kind of boundaries by by the experience with the people. Also, the focus should be on the development. The focus should be on the peaceful, working space, and the focus should be on the what you said, like self-respect, maybe anything else. So the third one is builds respect in relationship by communicating personal values. For example, taking on excessive administrative work, saying that no to anything else, and unclear boundaries with students. Example, responding to odd hours queries. What are the things that we need to consider to set boundaries? First, professional responsibilities. So here we need to consider the role clarity too, because we are not same everywhere in the institution. When we are in the class, we are the class teacher or the subject teacher. When we are in our cabin or office, sometimes when people come to meet you for some kind of clarification, and they want to speak to you about their life or all those things, and you become a counselor, and when you play together and you are a partner in the game. So we are not playing a single role in the institution. So we need to understand and define the scope of our responsibilities as a teacher, mentor, and committee members. We also should keep in mind the institutional policies. Okay, we need to ensure boundaries aligned with institutional rules and regulations regarding communication, grading, and engagement with students. So I have set a boundary like today I will not meet any students. But the institutional policies, you need to meet the students and give them the grading values, all those things. Clear. We also keep the institutional policies in mind. At the same time, we also treat all students and colleagues consistently when setting limits to avoid favoritism or misunderstanding. So setting boundaries is not like just like upholding some favoritism or misunderstandings. Like, so some of the students you may like, and only to them you will be available to to lend your ears and give some suggestions and clarifications. All those things that should not be. The second one is communication. So we need to have a clear expectation, proactive policies, regular reinforcements with regard to the communication. Communicate boundaries explicitly through students, colleagues, and parents. They should be aware of your healthy boundaries. Example like office hours, and response time, or grading policies. Okay, and also like include boundary related guidelines when you make some kind of assignments and syllabus, or when you make some announcements. Tell them I will be there in my office another half an hour. Clear. So we should communicate to people about our healthy boundaries. That is very much important. And next here comes the personal well-being, which is very, very important. As you have also mentioned, that one of the challenges, work-life balance. We need to allocate time for personal life, family, and self-care to prevent burnout. Otherwise, we'll end up in burnout, and we will like okay, crisis, all those things will come. And then mental recognize when overcommitment affects mental health and take steps to protect it by saying no whenever it is necessary. Also, we need to emotionally detach ourselves from people. So we need to learn to support students and colleagues without overextending the emotionality or emotionally. That's also very much important. That's here. The next here is contextual sensitivity. When we mix these kinds of boundaries, we should also keep in mind the cultural norms, the students' needs, and also the emergency situation. Clear. Some will be so stubborn when they make any kind of schedule or plan. They'll be so stubborn and they will be so stick to those kinds of plans. But when we set the healthy boundaries, we should be able to distinguish between urgent situation which requires flexibility and non-urgent ones where boundaries must be reinforced. That clarity should be there. We need to adapt boundaries slightly for students with exceptional circumstances. That's also important because in such cases, the students may be in a crisis, they want to meet you, and you say, it is office time, I cannot meet you. Or this is my personal time, I cannot meet you. Or I'm doing such kind of work. This is not the right time to meet. No. Clear. According to the contextuality, we need to be sensitive to. And then practical implementation. So when we set the boundaries, it should be practically, we should be able to implement it. We need to consider the time management, maybe technological tools. Maybe we can, in considering the delegation when we need to share our responsibility with our colleagues. Because we play a lot of roles in the institution, without the help of our colleagues, we cannot do such kind of wonderful things. So we will be in a such situation where we need to share responsibilities with colleagues or teaching assistants to prevent overload. Plan your schedule to prevent overlap between professional and personal commitment. Use some kinds of tools like auto reply emails or learning management systems to streamline communication, set limits on availability. That's also important. Professional relationship, yes, of course. Maintain boundaries in collaborative work by clearly defining roles and responsibilities. That is very much important. Yes, of course, I know. When you say no to some such kind of interaction with your colleagues, they may not be so happy about it. They may call you for a cup of tea or coffee, and you say no, and you say that you want to work for a while, and they may not be so happy about it. But at the first, maybe slowly in course of time, they will understand what for you are doing it, and if they see you are growing and developing personally and also professionally, they will also follow you and follow make such kinds of boundaries they also will have. Politely enforce boundaries with parents, your siblings, your relatives, while addressing their concerns. That's also important. Using such kinds of maybe maintaining a relationship with people through social media, that also should be considered when you may prepare healthy boundaries. You need to, or we need to decide on personal versus professional boundaries regarding digital communication and connection with students. Because I know some of the students will message you even at the night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, because they think that whatever they message you is very important, because that may be the last day that they need to submit the assignment. They'll be in a hurry, and the Moodle, no, that link is not, they are not able to open the Moodle link also, so they will be urging you to open it even at the night time also. But but make sure and make your students clear about it, about your usage of your mobile phone, or usage of your social media, or usage of the technology that you use. Be prepared to adapt boundaries when exceptional circumstances arise. But also, we also ensure it doesn't set unrealistic expectations. So whatever you try to make, that should be flexible and it should be adaptable. We need to regularly assess whether our boundaries are effective, and we need to seek feedback from trusted colleagues or mentors. It is always good in an educational institution, though we are teaching, it is always good to have a mentor. Someone said, generation gap. Generation gap. Yes, of course. I don't know whether you have said generation gap in the faculty, among faculty, or with students and the teacher. I don't know, but I say even in a faculty, in the family of the faculty, maybe there may be elderly people would be there, and young faculty would be there. But try to have a mentor. Go and talk to them. Continuously tell them what you are up to, and what the issues or difficulties that you have. And consider, when you take up a new position, consider them, ask them their opinion too. And regularly, it is always good to get the feedback from them. Okay, next, ethical and legal consideration. That's also very much important, because we set some kind of boundaries, and sometimes unknowingly we may let people know about someone's privacy, someone's important, which cannot be discussed in a public, which cannot be discussed, which cannot be exposed to some other people. We also need to adhere to legal standards regarding student confidentiality, even when setting boundaries for personal interactions. And that should be a regular track of what you are doing. Regular track of it. Track the development of your self-care regularly. I know sometimes what happens, when we buy a new mobile, we'll be so curious to use it for 1 month or for 2 months or 3 months. After that, we'll be fond of the other latest model which is available in the market. So that should not be there with the setting of your boundaries, and we need to continuously follow up. We need to continuously look for track whether it is on the right track. Don't compromise for no reasons. Don't compromise your healthy boundaries which you have set. Don't compromise for any of unnecessary reasons, and stay within the boundaries according to the need of the situation and role. That's also important. Just think, imagine, or you can give me the answer in the chat box. Why we say yes when we mean no? Inside we don't want to say yes, but sometimes no other go, like we say, why? You can respond me in the chat box also. Why? To please something. Yes, please someone. To please others. Why we need to please others? If we are expecting the self-respect when we are unable to say no. Okay, that's what I'm asking. Not to hurt, afraid, yes, afraid because of the higher position. Yes, of course. Maybe because of the salary, because of the higher position, because I want to get to be good. I want to get a good name because of our development. Good name, yes. See, when I conducted a kind of with a Mentimeter using of that Mentimeter, most of you have opted for self-respect. If at all you want to maintain the self-respect, why you want to please others? See, as a teacher or as a human being, we cannot please everybody. We cannot satisfy everybody. Even our gods, God, gods, even Jesus Christ, even Allah, even maybe even no Hindu gods, they cannot satisfy everybody. Submissive by nature, yes, we cannot satisfy everybody. When we say black, there will be an opposite to what we say. There should be. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you are about to hurt someone for the good reason, yes, you should be so proud of it. So a faculty member always say yes to extra tasks. What could be the consequences? What could be the consequences? If I say always yes to everybody, what could be the consequences? Heavy workload. Good.
People will take advantage of you.
People will take advantage of you, yes. Become a doormat, sure. Take it for granted. And people will not inform you also sometimes. They will give you, no, they will assign you something and they will not inform you, even the HOD or principal, they will, without asking you, they will do, yes, of course, stress to oneself. We lose our identity. Later, what happens? Slowly, we will be losing our health. Slowly, we will be losing our family. Slowly, we will be losing our, no, the happiest life and the life which we wanted to have in future. We are spoiling our future. But people who say yes will be praised by a lot of people. People, when they say yes to everything, they'll be loved by many people. But at the same time, just think about the necessity of saying no, resulting in inner conflict. Not always, yes. Sometimes people will be seen as, if suppose if HOD or the principal or any higher position people, if they are asking for some help and you are saying no to them, they may not take it in a right way. They'll be trying to, like, they'll try to convince you for something else. Maybe they are asking you to take up a position or in charge of some kind of association, and you are saying no. Okay, but they will not take it in a right way. That's what I want to mean. They'll not take it in the right way. But before they ask something, and if you say yes, most of the time, I'm not saying every time, most of the time, you can retain your good name. Okay. Why saying no is difficult? As you said, fear of rejection or conflict, culture or gender norms encouraging. You are a boy, why you are saying no? You have to. Clear? You are a girl. You need to say yes. Why you are saying no? So something like that. Encouraging complaints and guilt or over responsibility. Sometimes what happens, I prefer to say no, but someone said yes. But no, they get all the good name. They get all the things, whatever I wanted to. I thought that I will get some kind of publications or have a chance to build a rapport with the so-called principal or so people. But I said no, but someone said yes, and they got a chance. Now the guilt is there. Okay, and then ambition, competition, and comparison of culture. That's also there. So when we set boundaries, when we are planned to say no, we need to prioritize. That's what I said. We need to prioritize. In what way? We need to set goal, which is important. What I am about to. Make plan, get to work, stick to it, and reach the goal. So that's how we plan accordingly to say no. There are some reasons to say no. You are genuinely too busy, overwhelmed. It is not aligned with your goals. The thing is unnecessary. There's a better solution, or a person you are starting to feel angry, resentment. You are on the edge of or in burnout. These are some of the reasons that we could say no to people. We can also get a kind of support from, people, or we can get support for saying no from ourselves too. Your gut feeling. In one of the Tamil movie, a comedian would say, "Inge enna solludu?" What you listen from inside. Okay, we should go according to that. And your workload, keeping that in mind, you should be able to say no to people. And then mentors will definitely, they will help you where to say no and how to, and leaders, chairs, etc. And no, nowadays there is a committee like no committee. See, in a advertisement, I think five-star advertisement, they'll be advertising like, don't do anything, eat chocolate. It is not always good. Some people, they say, what kind of preaching is it? Don't do anything. They need to do something now. But in some cases, it is also good. It is also good to keep mum, or keep ourselves aloof in doing something. So in that way, it is not that I'm saying that you should always respond to people. No, keeping the priorities in mind, keeping the future, or the development, the growth of you as well as the other person in mind. You should be able to say no. So when you consider saying no, you need to ask some questions. What are my goals? Does the request align with my healthy boundaries? What boundaries have I set around my time or effort? Does the request violate them? Do I know enough about the request to make an informed decision? What are the costs and benefits of accepting the request? Those things we need to keep in mind. Also, will I be able to complete the request and my other work to my standards? Because we try to keep up our own standards. We won't be there when we start our career for the first day. We won't be the same. After kind of experience, after kind of interaction with our students, interaction with us colleagues, will be slowly growing. We have to maintain up to the standard. So some of the techniques for saying no assertively is like acknowledge and empathize. That is very much important. I know a priest, our father was a principal, and some, they went for asking, for asking for some admission purpose. They went and asked for some seat, and father said no, but in such a way he convinced the people, and he said there is no seats available. The other party came and they started shouting at him, and he was with smile, he said no, 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 no. That's how we need to empathize. I understand this is important, but at the same time, and also be clear and firm. I can't take this on right now, which means you are not totally disagreeing, you are not totally avoiding it, but at present I cannot do it. That's what you are saying. And offer alternatives, maybe if you are able to, maybe someone else can help you. Or otherwise say like, at present I am not able to do that, maybe if you come next week, I can think about it. And use a broken record technique. Politely repeat your refusal without explaining. Know your priorities, assess whether the request aligns with your goal. Say the case study. For example, excessive email communication that you get. A professor receives emails from students and colleagues late at night and feels obligated to respond immediately. So we need to keep some, have some questions like, should the professor respond? Should I respond immediately or wait until regular working hours? If it is very much urgent, as I told you, we need to keep the urgency of it. That's also important. How can faculty members set email boundaries? What impact does immediate responsiveness have on mental health and work-life balances? So whatever may be in the profession, we need to have a kind of set of rules and regulations for our own personal life too, both together. And overcommitment to committees and events. The faculty member is asked to join multiple committees and attend frequent extracurricular events despite an already full schedule. How should the faculty member prioritize commitments and decline requests? What strategy can help them manage their time while supporting institutional goals? How can saying no be framed positively to avoid conflict with administrators? That's also important. There are some variations of saying no. Bluntly, we say no, or otherwise, no, but maybe some reasons. No, but someone, we can mention someone's name also there, the mentor's name. Not so much. Maybe if the deal was sweeter, maybe if the cost and benefit was clear, maybe. So it is something like the person one who asks or offer for something and ask for something and are ordering or asking you to do something. They may understand if you use such kinds of words, I know, or to tell them to make them to politely understand it. So when you say no, as I told you, all will not take in a positive way. There would be some negative reactions too, where you have to face it. So when you try to say no, say calm if the other person reacts negatively. Try to avoid over apologizing. This will happen sometimes. Ma'am, sir, I really want to take it, but at present I cannot take, sir. Sorry, sir. No, sir. I am so sorry for that. So don't do that. Clear, and reinforce your decision, because the two-letter word that you have expressed, it is out of conscious. Uh, you are doing it out of your consciously you're doing that, making that decision. So don't worry about it. It is not just out of force or out of someone is forcing you or saying it. You are consciously doing that, making that decision. So don't worry about it. Reflect on your emotions without judgment. Yes, of course, they may not be happy when you say no. They may take it in a different way and try to take a revenge, and you may not get help next time because you said no. Clear? And they might have helped you a lot, and they are asking for something, and where you feel that you cannot take up the work and do it, because we have a lot of other works also. You may be branded as a selfish guy in the department, in the in the college, something like that. But don't take it to your heart, because you are saying, uttering those words just because of the development of yours and development for the other also. Just imagine, suppose if you say yes and taking up the position or taking up the work, and you are doing, and you are at last you are not able to do it, and at last maybe you are not able to do according to your standard, and the person one who offered you that definitely will feel bad about it. Clear? Sometimes when you are not okay with that, there is a technique like 2-minute breathing. Use that technique and try to reduce your stress and feel pressureless, right? And some of the strategies to address this kind of people, like practice assertiveness, learn to communicate your refusal respectfully but firmly. Be clear about your priorities and capacity before responding to requests. I know I am not capable of doing that. I know my limitation, but all of a sudden my close friend asked something. I said yes. It is not only fooling yourself. You are fooling your close friend also. Okay, you can also delay the response. You may say like, okay, I'll think about it and tell you maybe in couple of days. So ask for some time to think before agreeing to something, which allows for thoughtful decision makings. Reframe no positively. Position your refusal as a thoughtful decision rather than rejection, which means the person who is asking for something, they should understand you are engaged with some other thing. That's why you are saying no. And you are a kind of honest person when you say repeatedly or when you say with a proper reason, people will understand that you are a honest person. I'd love to, but I can't right now due to other commitments. No, I accept. I cannot. Okay. In what situation will you say no this week? Imagine, if at all you want to say, but it should not be said out of laziness or to avoid people. No, that's what before I have explained to you. In what situation will you say no this week? Think. You can also message drop a message in the chat box. In what situation will you say no this week? So now the time is 7:56. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any clarifications or doubts, you can ask our resource person. Please raise your hand. Any doubts? Any clarifications? Please
I
unmute
have a
yourself.
doubt. I have a doubt.
Yes.
People listening to me, that doubt I have.
Uh, Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
It was really an enlightening session, and we have learned a lot, I guess. And as our participants are really clear with your presentations, I hope that they have learned today the techniques for saying no assertively, and you have taught us certain strategies for applying in our day-to-day life, personally and as well as professionally also. So, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There is a question in the chat box. Someone asked, uh,
Okay.
how to just hold on. It meant how to overcome the negative emotions if we are overloaded with work. Overloaded in the sense, see, people will not give you any kind of work if you are not ready to accept it. Do you agree with me? You have every right to say no. You have every right to say no. Suppose if you don't feel comfortable and if you think that you're spoiling your mental health, if you feel that you're spoiling your so-called personal life too, then you have a lot of other options to move on. Okay, it is not just like negative emotion. If we are overloaded in the sense, if you are able to prioritize and schedule accordingly, if you go with, then one or the other way you will be reducing your negative emotions too. See, problem is where when we postpone something. Problem is where when we accept beyond our capabilities. We should know our limitations. Okay, so I'll surely try to implement this. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Sheena ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Uh, I
Ah,
would like to, so thank you for the beautiful session, sir, on how to say no. So during the session, you discussed about self-care in a professional setup. But I would like to share one what went on in my life, especially like when it comes to, women. And it's very difficult because they have gender assigned roles. So it becomes difficult for women when it comes to the family side. I'm talking not about the professional side. When it comes to the
Okay.
family side, it becomes very difficult for women to practice self-care when it comes to close relationships and all those things like husband, in-laws, and all the other things, especially in our Indian context, or whatever position of job you are in. So that is like one thing I just wanted to share. It's just a thought that I wanted to share.
Yes, I totally agree, ma'am. I totally agree. The mother role is one of the role which doesn't have any self care at all. Self care in the sense it will continuously work. Even sometimes the father role too. They won't worry about sometimes in morning breakfast they skip. Sometimes they need to do something very important from their profession, but they'll be able to sacrifice something and ready to do it. So here don't confuse and mix up the self-sacrifice with the self-care. Self-care is nothing to do with the self-sacrifice. That is different. That is different. So you sacrifice and you say, no, I don't have any. No, that is different. But here, yes, of course, what you said, I completely agree with that. Yes.
Sorry, yes, the session is very nice. I have a doubt.
Thank you. Yes.
Um, when somebody is the family or group expects me to do, uh,
Hmm.
if I say no, the relationship breaks.
Yes. Ma'am, my point is very clear. I am just explaining or telling you to say no only in a professional setup. Okay, professional setup, yes, of course. In a family, yes, of course, there also you should be able to set up a kind of boundaries. But in the initial stage, people will not understand it, but slowly they will understand you are a kind of person who has your own personal boundaries. See, sometimes when in a counseling session, pair came and the husband was expecting me to say whatever his wife said to me, and also he's expecting his wife to be so open. In a sense, he wants to know what she is doing even in the restroom too. So every person they have their own personal gap, personal space should be given. But if you are able to convey that to every people, slowly people will understand. You are a kind of person who has as a personal and also professional healthy boundaries. It is just to keep you healthy. That's all. If at all you want to help people, if at all you want to help your relatives, your children, your husband, your wife, or your mother, father, you should be alive now. If you lose your strength, if you lose your energy, health, then what we are going to succeed in future? That should be questioned, and accordingly we need to do, man. Of course, people will not mostly accept, or people will not be so happy to have when you say no. Yes, I agree, but we need to prioritize which is important. That's why a question I have asked: which is important to you? Relationship, salary, good name, self-respect. So it is just like a Abraham Maslow's triangle. We need to see which is important to me. So we need to go accordingly.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Father.
Yes. I am father of two kids, man.
So shall we wind up the
Yes.
session?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Once we'll
sir.
share the
Thank you, ma'am.
PPT, sir, I'll just contact the persons. Sure. Perché Salomina. Function.